There are concerns artificial intelligence is out of control.
Now to the urgent new warning
about the potential dangers of artificial intelligence.
It could spell the end of humankind.
Humans could become extinct.
Generative AI like ChatGPT, DALL-E and Midjourney is frightening people with its ability to create text, voices and even deepfake images that no one should have to see. I cannot unsee that. Anyway, it's leading to calls from the very people creating AI to put regulations in place before it's too late, likening the threat posed to nuclear war or a pandemic.
My worst fears are that we, the field, the technology, the industry, cause significant harm to the world. I think that could happen in a lot of different ways.
We should worry seriously about how we stop these things getting control over us.
But if AI thinks its path to global domination is going to be a walk in the park, think again. Because today, Australia's Industry and Science Minister Ed Husic has announced discussion papers. It's about getting on top of AI before it gets away from us.
If that consultation process does bring up high-risk areas that do need a regulatory response, that is something that definitely will be considered by government.
Looking to adopt a risk classification system where technologies are rated according to their potential destructiveness.
We want people to be confident that technology is working for us, not the other way around.
But it's not like AI's all evil.
Artificial intelligence will do some extraordinary stuff. It could fix medical issues. We could invent new drugs at rates that we've never been able to before in history. And then if you look at renewable energies and how do we live a better, longer life on this planet, artificial general intelligence could absolutely be the key to unlocking this.
So will government intervention work? Will we have a beautiful, prosperous future of man and... Oh, there's that skull again.
Joining us now is the Industry and Science Minister, Ed Husic. Minister, some of the people who created this technology are now warning us about it. So what exactly are we worried is going to happen here?
Well, I think the big thing that people are concerned about is that the technology might get ahead of itself, that on decision making it'll make its own decisions, that the guardrails won't be there and that there might be some sort of risk that flows as a result of that. We've got to be able to acknowledge and respect the community concern around those type of issues. Obviously, a lot of people recognise that AI has been with us for a while. It helps in many ways that we are aware of, probably other ways that we're not, but we've got to get the balance right between knowing what it can do in terms of what's good, but also having those guardrails around risk.
But will regulation actually do enough, or do we need to stop developing this technology altogether?
I think it's too hard to stop the development of technology. I think there are always people out there that will be looking at ways to keep improving what's currently in place. And in terms of AI, the development, its course of development has been since just after World War II, really, and then it's accelerated in its development. And obviously people have seen, for instance, with ChatGPT, they've seen all sorts of things that have been opened up as possibilities in terms of the application of the technology. And so what we've wanted to do is move relatively quickly to say, look, we've got nearly a dozen different laws that can apply in this space, but they haven't taken into account developments with generative AI like ChatGPT, and we're going to have to sharpen up those laws to make sure we manage the risk.
Can I be honest about what worries me, though? Like yesterday we quoted someone who runs an AI company and he just basically put it all on the table. He said, we don't understand this. Like the people who are creating this don't understand what they're creating. He said it's basically like doing biology when we don't understand cells yet. That's how bad it is. You, I imagine, know even less about it than he would because he's making the stuff. How do you regulate?
Yeah.
Like, how can you possibly know what you're doing when it comes to regulation if we know that little about it?
Well, it's something that I've been watching for years and being, either taking myself around the country to speak and learn from people here or overseas. Some of the examples too, for instance, when AI has been used to discover new antibiotics, it's been able to understand by crunching through that data new relationships between molecules that people never understood even existed. But again, humans design the technology, and there are things that we do need to ensure that the designers are thinking about and that the people who use the technology think about. And again, that's why we're opening up this discussion around the shape of future laws to make sure that we get on top of it, and that we also work with other countries that are giving thought to how to answer the question that you've just put to me and to shape up laws in response to it.
Ed, mate, industry and science sounds like a pretty cruisy portfolio to me, but now all of a sudden you have to stop Skynet, like it's you. Are you thinking, why me? Like, are you John Connor? Well, like, it's not fair.
Well, I'm not going to pull back my face in the middle of the interview and reveal a Schwarzenegger-like robot underneath. That ain't happening. Yeah, I know, it'd make for great ratings. But look, no, I've been interested in this space for years. I think the way in which technology can improve our lives is a really big deal, but always you've got to see the light and the shade. I know a lot of people want to, it's great to get a headline by catastrophising about what the way in which technology might go off the rails, but, you know, at our toughest points, AI was there when it was applied in developing vaccines in the middle of pandemics that we've been through. And so getting the balance right is really, really important. But yeah, it's really tough, and it's not something that's easy to necessarily explain, but we know that we've got to be able to frame laws in a way that the community expects us to.
OK, Minister, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.